It's gonna be alright.
Hello and welcome to SusPOD, the official podcast for all things Bristol Suspensions. I'm Alisha, the current marketing manager of the group, which is a UK mixed a cappella group from the University of Bristol. We are currently in our 10th generation, so to celebrate that, we're going to be holding our 10-year anniversary show on February 3rd in Bristol. So basically, this mini-series is where we're going to be talking to each gen, or members of each gen, and talking about their experiences, the songs they sung, their highlights, and of course a little bit of a cappella gossip. We cannot wait to have you listen, but for now, enjoy the episode.
Hiya and welcome to episode 6. We are here with Mikey and Rachel from Generation 6 of Suspensions. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. So to start off, I wanted to know, how did you hear about Susps and why did you join? So Rachel, let's start with you.
So I started at Bristol Uni in my first year, and I did lots of musical theatre stuff. That was kind of my thing. I was like, yeah, I know I'm going to go and do loads of musical theatre, like societies and stuff. And then through that, I met a lot of people that also did a cappella. So there's a lot of crossover. And then I was like, oh, what's this? And then I became really good friends with Robbie, who was in the group at the time in his first year.
I forgot about this, but yeah.
So then he was like, oh yeah, I'm in this group called Suspensions, it's really fun. And then I thought, okay, bookmark it for auditions that happen. There's auditions that happen every year in September time when freshers come and stuff. So I was basically like, I'm just going to see how I'm feeling at the beginning of my second year. So then at the beginning of my second year, I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to audition, see what happens.
And that was Gen 5 as well, wasn't it? Because we both joined the same year.
So I joined in Gen 5, and 2018, September 2018, I started. So yeah, that's kind of how I got to know the group and how I ended up auditioning.
It's fucking nuts. Excuse me. How long ago that was as well?
That was literally...
So we're in 23.
That was 6
years ago. Yeah, that's nuts. That is nuts. What about you, Mikey? So how did you hear about the group? When did you join?
So I joined in my first year, the following year, so 2019. I had heard about the group from a friend who had seen them at Fringe. I don't know when she saw them at Fringe.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
So she saw, I think she saw Love Actually. And then she was like, oh, there's this group that's at Bristol. And because she was at Bristol as well, she was like, you should audition. And so it was kind of on my radar. And then I went to Freshers Fair with my first year flat, none of whom knew I sang at all. We literally had known each other for 3 days. And I think it was Jess Petrassi, jumped in front of us at Freshers Fair.
Was she president at the time?
Yeah, so she jumped in front of our group at Freshers Fair and was like, oh, do any of you sing? And this random guy in my flat, did not know I sang, but thought it'd be funny. He was like, oh yeah, this guy does, to try and get me in conversation with some random society. And I was like, oh no, I actually do. I'm actually so interested. And me and Jess just had a whole chat about it. And then she was like, right, auditions are here. Go do this. And then, yeah.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. But
and I remember, because I was ushering, I don't know if that's the right word, for the auditions. Yeah. Current members sit in the foyer outside the audition room. And I met you on the little couches.
Yeah, we sat and you were like, oh, so do you have an experience with a cappella? And then I listed 10 a cappella groups. You were like, wow, this man is obsessed.
I was like, okay, yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Amazing. And so what did you get up to that year? Because I was on my year abroad at this point. What consisted of the events in the year? What did you get up to?
I mean, it was pretty whistle-stop tour of Bosworth, ICCAs, 1 or 2 gigs, and then it was COVID, so gigs and stuff stopped. But that first 5 months, pretty good in terms of gigs and stuff. We did quite a lot.
Lots of busking as well.
A lot of busking at Christmas market.
Do you like busking?
Controversial. I love busking.
I don't mind busking.
Okay.
The only thing I don't like about busking is just feeling tired afterwards.
Yeah. Or getting up early.
Yeah.
Getting up early and feeling tired. And then I don't like when you get weird people in town centre.
Oh.
But then
oh my god,
weird people in town centre.
Oh my god,
I have a story.
Oh my god, let's hear it. I remember this.
You know what I'm going to talk about. So we were busking. It must have been in the new year, I think it was. just, people in Bristol Town Centre, you never know who you're going to sort of like come across when you're singing. Also, we're like very much making ourselves known. Yeah. Because we're singing and we're really loud, we're really animated. And they're just like these kids on bikes. And I was doing, I think I remember, it's so funny. I haven't thought about this for a really long time. It's so funny. Basically, I think we're in like, we're in like a clump of people, in like a huddle. And I was on the edge of the huddle. And I was just like, doing my thing, like, bab dua, whatever. And then these kids were just kind of like riding kind of like close to us. Like, there was like 4 or 5 of them. And I was like, okay, I see you. That's fine. And then the next song, I had a solo, and we have like the busking amp and 2 mics, and soloists like go to the front and do their little bit. And these kids literally rode, like they literally did like a backup.
A wheelie.
They did like they like backed up and then went like right towards me and did like a wheelie, and then just like basically missed me by like a second.
My God.
Well, they did it every time we did your song and you were soloing. They somehow looped back round. It was always just at you.
I know. I think they just found me a bit annoying.
They smelt your fear.
Yeah, honestly, I was terrified.
Didn't they also steal your bag?
No, it wasn't my bag. Not my bag.
Okay.
No, but I remember that. I think it was Franny's bag.
Because I think Franny's bag got stolen, and then she was like, "Guys, it's not really a big deal. It just had my underwear in it."
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Essentials for busking.
Yeah.
But I remember those kids on bikes became like a joke, like a running joke, because we were like, oh my God, next time we go busking, Rachel's going to get attacked by a kid on a bike.
Oh God.
And so I was a bit triggered about kids on bikes.
Traumatic. And so, what was ICCAs like?
Well, I actually didn't perform the ICCAs, but I did performance direct. So,
what?
Yeah.
Performance direct.
Oh, is that the right word?
No. It sounded like you said perform at something.
I think you said performance direct. Oh. And I was like, no, I don't know that. That sounds like a fun a cappella show. Okay, yeah, cool.
But I was on like creative. So, side note, I basically had notes, so I didn't sing for that year. But I was on like the creative team for that year. So basically, for the songs that we used, I'd choreographed, actually with your help while you're on your year abroad. I will give credit where credit is due. I was like, Alessia, help me. So I choreographed the song that we sang at Boswell that year, and that ended up being one of our ICCA songs. And then I also choreographed with Liv Prowse as well. She was the like main performance director for the ICCA. So I actually didn't perform, but I watched it from the audience, and it was great. Clapping grand, cute vibes.
Yeah. We were in London that year, but it was so much fun. Like really, really good vibes. It's the first time as a group. It always is. The thing is, every year, the first time as a group you finish ICCA's quarters, and no matter how you do, you're always like, "Wow, that was amazing." We all like, perform and compete together. Also, I think it was like I loved our set that year. I think it was so much fun. All for Us, such a good song. And it just had so much like energy on that stage, and meeting all the other groups and getting to watch them as well. It's just such a fun experience.
Yeah, and I hear every time everyone from Gen 6 says that coming off the stage after ICCAs that year was like such a moment. And that picture is so cute.
Really cute picture.
So yeah. Oh, I loved seeing that. And from my year abroad as well, that like literally made my heart so full. So it was so nice to see that and like kind of get to know the people before coming back. So let's talk a little bit about COVID. So this is when it hit, right? And so immediately, did rehearsals just stop after like March?
Yeah, pretty much when it first hit and like the uni closed and stuff. We kind of immediately went to okay, rehearsals and stuff are cancelled. And then I think it was very much, there was a little hiatus while the committee sorted out how to proceed and how to go forward with it. I don't think it was that long of a hiatus though, because I think
in terms of
before we started then moving to like online rehearsals, which we did a little bit
So the first video you did was Don't Start Now, right?
Yeah. And that was in like...
It's pretty soon.
Yeah, that was like April. Was it April time?
Was it?
Or May?
I think
it was
so.
like fairly early. I remember being in like... I don't know why, but I remember I posted an Instagram photo. And that's how I remember, because I was like wearing the thing I was wearing in the music video.
Right, yeah.
And then I like took a photo of myself in the set because the lighting was good. And I was like, yeah. So it was around April time, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
I think one of my favourite things about this year is seeing how much the videos like grew in quality, like over the summer and then into Gen 7. Like it was so incredible. And credits to Ryan, who is in the room with us right now. Say hi, Ryan. So Ryan, did you do Don't Stop Now? No, I think that was Dan and Rach. But yeah, so it was really amazing to see that growth from us as a group. And like obviously because Fringe and US tour was cancelled this year, we were supposed to do US tour.
Yeah, so I was tour manager that year.
Yeah, I remember.
So the committee kind of is assembled the summer prior to the academic year. So we were all, voted in as a committee in like May. And then from that, I was like, from that time, I think there were like whispers in Gen 5 that we were like thinking about doing a US tour. Because obviously a lot of people who were in Gen 5 that graduated that year had done the previous tour, and we'd heard so much about it, like the newbies and stuff, and we were like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I was kind of worked with Morris, who was the business manager, kind of working out budgets and stuff like that to make sure that we could like fundraise. That's where I did a lot of busking that year. Emailed lots of different universities. We wanted to do like the Northeast, so New York, Connecticut, Philadelphia. Gonna stop there, don't know the rest. But we had a lot of interest, and we had loads of people like emailing us, had a spreadsheet. I was like, cute, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go there. Booked the flights. It was all like sorted, and then we had like, you know, plans of how everyone was going to like pay and how we were going to subsidize as well. Morris was very keen to keep it as much as possible, as in the tour. He was like, we can do it. Things are going to open. And I was like, girl, I'm going to have to manage that. And I don't want to do that. Yeah. I was like, I was just like stressed. Like I didn't want to have to deal with that personally, but also just as a group, like the uncertain times that we were living in.
It just wasn't in the cards that year.
No, it really wasn't.
Yeah. Such a shame, but
we made up for it.
Yeah, we did. We did.
The online Fringe.
Yeah.
That was really fun. So basically, for people listening at home, we did like a bit of a callback to every generation and showcased a video from each of their fringes from Gen 1 all the way to Gen 5. And then we did 2 new videos for Gen 6 and a new video for the whole kind of collection. So tell me a little bit about the upper and lower voice medleys that we did for Gen 6 over the summer, because they were completely remote.
Yeah, so lower voices, this is so funny because I had not watched this video in so long. And then it's really weird because a bit of a tangent, but recently someone where I work found out I did a cappella at uni and was just like, wow, that's amazing. It's like, because people are always like baffled when they don't know it exists outside of Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
But I came in the next day.
No.
Oh,
and
no.
he literally was like, he'd obviously like deep dived into our YouTube because he was like fast tracks, High School Musical medley.
No,
I was like,
fast tracks.
Where have you found these things? And then I was like, listen to this album instead.
Right.
But High School Musical medley was so fun.
It's one of my favorites.
Like it's so like, it's not bad, but it's so like, it's like camp.
It's
and
so
a bit
camp.
kitsch, like,
but I love it. It's my favorite.
So fun. And it's really funny because we were all in like different places.
Yeah.
So I ended up filming my bits. I was on a family holiday in the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
So I'm like on this like balcony and the sun's behind me with the like sea, and I'm like, wow, it's so exotic, but it's just the Isle of Wight. But yeah, it was like really funny. And just it's a good set of arrangements. Like Robbie's riff in Stick to the Status Quo.
Oh yeah.
Don't mess with the flow. Oh, no.
Sticks with me, but
that is a favourite.
Yeah,
line.
I do really like that medley. I think it is a good laugh.
I watched it so many times when it came out. Yeah. So many good bits.
Honestly, me doing Boys Are Back.
The boys are back. The boys are back. The boys are back. Gonna do it again. Gonna wake up the neighborhood.
Yes.
So good.
In
the
that
costume changes.
yes.
The transition.
Well, this is the thing. We planned it. It was all like planned out and like storyboarded. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to have to film this while I'm like in the Isle of Wight with my family. So I had to take like 6 different outfits with me. Like I had to take a suit with me for like the prom bit.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
That bit is
God,
so
I've got so many outfits and I'm here for like a weekend. But yeah, it was good fun.
And what about for Upper Voice medley?
Yeah, the girls medley was kind of like, we had a few arrangers in the group, and I can't remember, did you edit it? Who edited it?
It was Himari.
Himari. Oh my God. Yes, it was. I remember like, what it was, we did, so we basically did film like theme songs.
Movie soundtrack.
So we did like, yeah, that was it. So we did like My Heart Will Go On. We did Ratatouille Le Festin. You had
Ratatouille Le Festin.
It's because, well, I don't know. I think I actually played it in like the office at work, like the other day, really randomly. Someone was like, "Pass Rachel the aux," and I was like,
I know just the
it
one.
was literally like the Bluetooth speaker.
It's in your Chill Vibes playlist that I sometimes listen to. And whenever it comes on,
Really?
like, Le Festin is in there. And it like, it comes on and I'm like, this is just funny.
Un, deux, trois.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
You had that bit as the like French speaker.
Yeah, but Zoe also speaks French, but she didn't want to do it. So,
Oh, yeah.
So Liv and I ended up doing it.
Yeah.
Les rêves des amoureux sont comme le bonbon. Ils donnent de la joie ou bien du chagrin.
And
But I kind of loved it. And your solo was,
I can't even remember what mine was.
it was Skyfall.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
The sky falls when you crumble. Stand tall and face it all as skyfall.
I just think all the kind of music video stuff, like when I look back at just that whole period of time, having like projects to do, because, you know, us all being in Susps, like doing that kind of thing as well as uni, and we all kind of did like other musical theatre and, you know, other performing things. Like we weren't just doing Susps as well, you know. So we were used to a really like busy schedule and a busy life.
Yeah.
And so having all of those music videos to work on, even though, you know, I was merely just singing my part, there was still like so many other elements to it. It wasn't just like, you had to make sure that like once we sort of started finessing it. So initially it was just like, take a video of yourself singing, we'll work out the audio.
We'll mash it together.
Yeah, but then it became separate audio, and then it became like, you know, everyone had their own parts. Some people had teach tracks and stuff for those parts, and it was like actually, you know, becoming a bit more of like a well-oiled machine, as it were, when it came to that kind of stuff. So
I think it knows in really good stead for Gen 7.
100%.
honestly,
Like,
Yeah. We were so well
like
trained.
when you look at the
videos.
quality of like, and I don't hate Don't Start Now, but when you look at the quality of Don't Start Now and even performing to a camera, like, and then you look at Gen 7, it's like, oh, this was just practice. Every single video we did was just like more and more practice at like, because performing to a camera in your room is so hard. Like, because when you're on stage and you've got a whole audience, you're like, wow, I can feel the energy here. And then you're sat in your room, like sat like cross-legged with your like recording into your wardrobe, or you're like
literally
sat in front of your window so you can get nice lighting, and you're just like
It's hard to get the energy
to a camera
across.
that you're also not allowed to look at your own face when you're doing it, because you have to look at the camera. So you're like, da, da, and you're on your own. There's nothing else going on. Da, da.
I also wanted to say, for me personally, and I'm sure it was the same for you guys, but like that lockdown, Susps got me through it. Like without those projects to work towards, without the online fringe, without the weather, and without like the massive Zoom calls that we had, I don't know what I would have done. Like that kept me so busy and kept me working. And like when everyone else was being like, or like either running 5Ks, which was never gonna happen for me, or they were like just didn't know what to do themselves. We just kept so busy, and that just kept me going. So I wanted to chat a little bit to you guys about the alumni network and how that's where it really started to blossom between everyone.
yeah.
And I think were we all part of the 3 a.m. gang? Yeah, let's talk a bit about that. What was that, guys?
3am gang. Basically, 3am gang was when we'd have these massive Zoom calls, and
literally like 50 of us.
Huge. It would be so many people, and we'd like just chat, or we'd play games, and then like throughout the night, people would like drop off, and it would just be like, people would be like, I'm going to bed now, or people would fall asleep on the Zoom call. Like that happened so many times.
We're like,
I think all 3 of us at least once have fallen asleep on the Zoom call.
We can insert a video clip of that.
Here lies Alessia Doyle.
Alessia. This is so weird. She looks dead. Looks like an open casket e-funeral.
Alessia.
But there was a group of us, like a few of us, that would always find ourselves, it would get to like 3 a.m. and we'd be like, why are we still here?
Yeah.
Why are we still online? We could have gone to bed. Like,
yeah.
But it was just good fun. And like, we used to play Mafia over Zoom, which was incredible.
So good.
You were the best.
So funny.
Narrator. Was it?
No, Stan was the best.
Stan was the best.
No, but you were good as well.
Good.
You were very good at the rules. I feel like you were very good at like...
Yeah, I'm very much like a rules person. I was like, I know the rules.
And you like... Because I remember when I started playing Mafia, I think that was like the beginning of my Mafia like career.
Yeah.
It began and ended in that period of time, to be honest. But I was so bad, and I started like... Because I couldn't remember the rules. Yeah. I could not remember. I was like, wait, who am I? Who's the double agent again?
Yeah, who am I like? Wait. Whose team am I on?
Yeah, and I would, legit, and I'd be like, you're the double agent. And they'd be like, no,
They'd be like, no, you're meant to be on my team.
Yeah. And I'd just be like, oh, Mikey.
Yeah. My style was always very much like, these are the rules. This is how many people are left. I will argue with reason. And then there's people that just are chaos. We used to have like a chat of everyone that had been eliminated.
We're the Mafia graveyard.
Yeah, it's like we had like a Facebook. Basically, the way it works, because if anyone's played Mafia in real life, you obviously would all close your eyes, and the Mafia would like open their eyes and like look at each other and point at who they want to like eliminate. But obviously over Zoom, you can't do that. So we'd have like Facebook group chats. And so and what made that so interesting is because you can like strategize, because you can just openly talk with each other. So you'd message and whatnot. But then if you got eliminated, we had the graveyard chat. And like people would be like egging on the people that were left. They'd be like, oh, Chris is playing such a good game right now. Like no one suspects him. And it just made it so fun to even like, you could be eliminated in the first round and just watch the whole thing unfold, and it was fun.
It still made it fun. Yeah.
And I think that like having those Zoom calls and those games made us all really bond so much. And then when it came to the end of the online Fringe Fest, we then had that massive song that we all did together. We all did The Weather, which was all gens all the way up to Gen 6 at that point. So what was that like for you guys? I remember watching it for the first time and being really emotional, and just like, it was such a lovely project to work on.
Yeah, it was
as
a really nice community song. Like,
yeah,
it's a great song anyway. It's nice to see like all the gens of the group, and like when you look at it, like even the end of it, when it's just like the outro and it's like showing you each gen of the group, and there's a couple of like little Easter eggs in there of like people's names.
I love that, Easter eggs. Yeah.
And it's just really cute seeing like who was in each era.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really nice to just like do that as a collective.
Yeah. So that bit is like the cutest bit, because it's like obviously the whole music video, it's just everyone. You don't know who's like from what gen. We're just like all one big group, and that's really nice. That's really wholesome, because it's like, also I was like singing I think I might have been alto 1 or sop 2 for that, I can't remember, and the other person singing on my part was Eve. So yeah, and I was like, oh my god, we weren't singing in person, but we were on the same part. So like I was like, I've never shared a part with you before. That's like cute.
That's so nice.
And then like, listening out for her singing like the same part. It was just things like that where like I would have not had, that wouldn't have happened in that way. Like I would not have sung with her.
Yeah.
So
Stan, I remember Stan's, I think it was Stan's reaction, where he was like, because it obviously starts in black and white. And I remember Stan messaging and being like, when it started in black and white, I was like, they haven't, have they? And then it gets to like, it gets to Gen 6 and it's like, colour. And it's like,
and like Zoe's solo.
Zoe solos, and it's just like the colour comes into the video and you're like, yeah.
Hard to say if we will ever be, but I'll admit my greatest fear is that the air will never clear. So I just wish that we could talk like you and me. I won't talk about the weather, not with you in
It's so wholesome. I love that video so much. Yeah, definitely a highlight. And if you come to see Gen 10, our anniversary show, the song might feature.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe we'll keep this bit as a teaser.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe it will. Maybe it will.
I don't know.
I
know.
Oh,
yeah.
so
you get to sing with Eve in person.
No!
Yeah. Yeah. And then so finally just wanted to kind of move on to like, what were your favourite moments of Gen 6? Like one highlight from the year.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah.
If you want to think.
Yeah. I'm worried you're going to steal my idea.
Because it's not nodes or getting run over by kids on bikes. I think one like highlight, like really random memory. It was just before COVID. It was Emily's birthday.
Oh yeah.
And we all went out for like kind of like Picky Bits style food at
Lost and Found
in the like downstairs room that's like behind the door is a painting. It's really cool. Plug Lost and Found.
Literally, great place.
Sponsored? No, it's not sponsored. This is not sponsored.
Sponsor us, please.
So we did food there, and then had some drinks, and then we wanted to keep drinking. So there's quite a big group of us. We all went to All Bar One, and it was quiet-ish. There was a couple of other like groups in there. There was like a couple of couples, and we were all in this like one end of the bar, just chatting away, whatever. Zoe and Himari went to the bar and were chatting to these guys who were Scottish. And at this point, we didn't know, obviously COVID wasn't a thing. We still thought we were going up to Fringe. And they were just chatting to these guys and they were like, oh, no way, you're from Scotland. We're going to Edinburgh Fringe this year.
Right, I see.
And they were like, oh, really, what do you do? And Zoe and Himari were like, oh, we're singers. And these guys were like, oh, well, if you sing for us, we'll buy you a shot. And we were already quite drunk. So Zoe and Himari, instead of interpreting that as, oh, the two of us will sing for you and they'll buy us a shot, they turned around to the like 25 of us that were on the other side of the bar and went, guys, if we sing for them, they'll buy us shots. And so as a massive group, we did like 2 of our busking songs. And like, kudos to them, these guys bought everyone a shot. Like they bought a big round of shots. But the like bartender of All Bar One was like stood on the bar like filming us because we just started busking in their bar because we were like, free alcohol, let's go. And it was funny, like it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Big win.
I remember now, I have like a video of me like cheersing with everybody at my shop. Like, yeah.
I remember seeing the video like that someone else took a few days later and being like, wow, we sound awful.
Definitely did.
We were so drunk.
But you know, like to the everyday person just having a drink at on, we were like, you know, we were on like 60
and when you're
bars,
also tipsy, everything sounds amazing.
Yeah.
They were like, well, Pitch Perfect exists in our bar.
Yeah.
The Bard and Bellas have chosen us to perform to. But
what about you, Rach? What was your highlight of Gen 6?
I think it's not necessarily like one particular moment, but I think we had a lot of socials that year. We had like a Christmas social. Morris made like a big vat of hot chocolate.
Oh, yes.
And it was, that hot chocolate was amazing. We had like, so sweet. And we watched like Nanny McPhee. Yeah. It was really cute. Just those moments. And it would be like, or even on like the group chat, like just our general group chat, someone would be like, hey, we're watching a movie after the rehearsal tonight. Anyone want to come? Like, it would often be hosted at Morris's flat. So Morris would be like, you know, at the end of rehearsals, he'd be like, right, guys, we're going to watch Conjuring at the end after rehearsal. That actually happened.
It did.
I can't believe I watched it, to be honest. I hate horror movies. But yeah, just that kind of vibe really, it put us in good stead for when COVID unexpectedly happened, because it meant that we'd already kind of built those in-person friendships really well. And it was just really like, it felt very just natural. I think I remember we had like a Zoom call where we'd all gone back like to like family homes, or just some people were still in Bristol. Like we all just dotted around everywhere. Like Zoe went back to Canada. Yeah. And it was like weird, but also like, oh, this is just like a pizza social, but online. So,
100%.
because you're so, yeah.
No,
so,
this is what I was going to say. Like, I really do think that Gen 6 for the group and the alumni as a whole kind of like was the glue between the then and like the now in a way. And like doing that, you know, alumni single and just like keeping those connections, bonding with people from Gen 1 was kind of the reason that we're like sat here today. Like it's a little bit cringe, but like, you know, I don't think we all would be here right now recording a 10 episode, like mini podcast series.
Yeah.
Coming up to 10 years of Suspensions, if it wasn't for that year. So yeah, really
Slay.
wholesome.
Yeah.
So wholesome.
Slay.
And then finally, just to like round us off, how excited are you for 10 year?
Very.
Really
I'm gassed.
excited. Yeah.
I haven't done a cappella since I left, but I haven't joined like an alumni group, and I've gone to see a cappella and I've been still involved in the community and stuff, but like I just haven't performed since. And so I really, really miss that. So I just can't wait to just like get on stage again and like do some stupid choreo and some barring. Like,
Yeah, I think it's going to be really nostalgic and just very wholesome.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I was feeling like, this on the same sentiment, like, just kind of have a bit of a guilty pleasure moment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because I think like, you know, as you were saying about like people like from work or whatever, looking at a cappella, like I've mentioned that I did a cappella at uni, and like, it was a big part of my life at uni. So it's come up, and I've kind of just wanted to be like, I just want to like indulge in that again, and like, just do a bit of a babarada, jazz square and
a box step.
a box step. That's the same thing.
And like a
Jazz hand, a jazz hand,
And a bit of a dugga-da, dugga-da.
dugga-da, 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 and a bit of like a...
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming and for speaking. This has been really, really fun.
That's all right. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having
It's a pleasure. And we will see you all in February for a 10-year anniversary. So thank you so much for tuning in. We have been Gen 6. They have been Gen 6. And we'll see you at the next episode, which will be Gen 7. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.